tell you, turning off Justin Timberlake is like turning off Elvis. It kind of makes me sad. I am thrilled at the number of people. Once again, we are coast to coast. Welcome to One Prime Time. And that may be a little bit of feedback from Taylor, maybe on her mobile. But guys, I'm so excited. Number one, I've got amazing people with me today. My partner in crime, Carrie Ezra Body, is here with me. So happy to welcome her back. We have very special guests with us today, Justin Taylor. We're going to introduce Justin in just a moment, and our good friend Taylor. Taylor's going to join us and kick us off today and talk a little bit about some upcoming events that we have at Realty One Group. Taylor, welcome today.
Hey, can you hear me okay? Okay.
Yep.
The computer audio is not working, so what do? We pivot. We're on our phone. The speaker was giving feedback. Okay, I wanted to give a quick update of a training we have going on next Wednesday, March 26th. It is your opportunity to get certified as a One Lux professional. So One Lux is Realty One Group's marketing and certification program for agents who are looking to level up their business, to get into the higher tier, to break into luxury in your market. So what you're going to learn in that training is really, what is luxury in my market? What does that look like? How do I break into that? What are the strategies, the blueprint for success that thousands of agents are using? We partnered with a very credible organization called the Institute for Luxury Home Marketing, and so they facilitate that training. It's one day, March 26th. Once you complete that training, you have a business plan in place to break into luxury. You are invited to a network with thousands of other luxury agents for referrals, masterminds, a member of the Institute, and they have discounts on advertising with Wall Street Journal, Robb Report. They have a wealth engine lookup and other data sources to really help you in your luxury business. And of course, you get access into One Lux. So that opens up a whole new level of marketing for you inside of Creative Studio. You have a new listing presentation, business cards, flyers, you name it, everything, things to update your OneSuite websites to help you position yourself in the niche market of luxury. So the training is next Wednesday. I hope you can make it. I'm going to send you a link in the chat. If you cannot make next Wednesday, there are other dates there. There's the August date, or you can wait and do it live at Summit November 2nd. That's my first update. I have one more update that I just want to make everyone aware of. It's my Zoom background right here. So we have a partnership with RealGrader. You've probably met them at the last few summits. We've been in partnership with them for a while, but we just got into a deeper partnership where they're offering the Instacart free, complimentary to everyone at Realty One Group. And that comes with a link that you can put in your social profile. So think of it like Linktree or any of those other platforms like that will drive you to a mobile site with quick links to your website, to your listings, to contact me, text message me, as well as Zoom backgrounds and other things. You can fully customize this. You can redeem that on this site right here by just searching for your name. They already have some of your information. They will populate a branded business card for you, digital business card, and then you can go in there and customize that to your liking. So those are my two updates, Kathy and Carrie. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. That's part of our commitment, Taylor, to the network, is to have actionable training. So thank you for giving us something. Thank you for giving us clickable links that we can go to and either obtain that designation or join that. So this is incredible. Our friend Scott Bergman is personally vouching for that, and he's doing that in a blizzard. So thank you. Carrie, Taylor, thank you so much. I have to tell you, I've got a tickle in my throat, and I put a cough drop in, and it tastes like it's been in my grandmother's purse. My grandmother's been deceased for 25 years, so that tells you a little bit about just how tasty this is. So please forgive me if I'm coughing a little bit.
Was there like dirt and hair on it? I'm just curious.
Perfume. It tasted. It's tasted like Jean Naté. Thank you. That's all I'll say about that. And that did date me just a little bit. Purse dust is a spice. Thank you. It is. So now may we introduce our friend Justin Taylor. And Carrie and Taylor, the thing I absolutely love about Justin is he's such a brand ambassador. That's a step above being a brand advocate. He's been in our network for a while. A lot of you on the call will recognize this face and this voice because he's done so much training with us, and he has absolutely packed the room at the past two summits. So Justin Taylor of BluPrint Coaching, welcome and give us an update. Tell us about you and what you're doing because it may have changed for a few of our people.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, thank you, both of you to have me on today's call, and super excited to be here and talk about video and technology and all that good stuff. But so I got into real estate, man, back in 2016, and of course found Realty One Group as my home, have loved the brand ever since. And obviously I've worked with you guys quite a bit in the past and hopefully in the future as well. But my passion really has been training, coaching, and marketing, and helping agents find ways to grow their business, be creative, but also a huge emphasis on adopting digital marketing technology tools that are available to us and continue to innovate that are helping us be able to create better content, better business processes, give us more time back. I know Scott was on a couple of weeks ago talking about AI, and I mean, I can't talk enough about that and how much it can help and alleviate a lot of those pain points in your business. So after I got into real estate, before I got into real estate, I was in retail, did training and some turnaround projects for a retail company, and that wasn't forever. So always wanted to get in real estate, jumped in, was a sales manager for one of the largest teams out here in Arizona. And through that process, I just started to get agents to come to me asking questions. How do I do this? Can I do this? And video, technology, website, all that good stuff. And it just kind of evolved from there. And I kind of found my passion into being that helper, that guide, that connection to, execute and get them to, take advantage of all the different tools and stuff that we have. So working through that, and then most recently, I took a leap of faith and launched my own platform called BluPrint. We are an all-inclusive training, coaching, and marketing platform, truly working in our mission to be the ultimate hub for real estate agents for all three of those pillars and resources and bringing the top talent in the industry together so that all agents have access to quality training, coaching, and marketing resources. So that's my mission. It's free for real estate professionals. We'll talk about that in a little bit as we start going through that. But very excited to be here and to hopefully bring some nuggets for you guys to take away in terms of video and different technology that's available to maybe I have some objections of doing video. You don't want to be in video. Well, great news is you don't have to be. That's okay. There's faceless video options as well that are still super effective in terms of algorithms and just working with more consumers, right? We all know that consumers, as we are all consumers, prefer short form video content. That's a huge piece over the last few years, and it's continuing that way. So excited to talk about that.
Wow, we are so excited to have you, and we're so excited to have a technology expert, and thrilled beyond words to have you as a certified coach with us as a one coaching certified coach. So there's lots to come, but I want to talk video and I want to talk all things training with you because there is still such a pushback and reluctance. So if you don't like the way you look and don't like the way you sound, put a message in the video in the chat so we know who you are. And a special thanks to experts today in Cleveland, Tennessee. They've got about 11 people in the room, and they are good looking people because I just got a picture of them. So let us hear from you if you don't like video. And Justin, before you go to your PowerPoint, you can probably see, who we're talking to. Video is definitely a challenge for me. I hate the way I look. I do too, but I had to get over it. So talk to us. Let's roll with video and what we need to do.
Yeah, so obviously, like you said, a lot of people have objections, and I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound on video. Trust me, guys, I get it. Maybe you get nervous in front of video. I tell the story all the time. I was a kid in school that, oh my God forbid, I get called up to do a presentation or something, and I'm shaking, and you can hear it in your voice and all that kind of stuff. So over time with everything in life, right? This beautiful device, you can't really see it, cell phone, learning how to drive a car, anything really, it just takes time to get used to and comfortable with. We just have to keep trying and pushing ourselves there. But there's so many different ways that you can leverage video in your business. Like I said earlier, faceless, right? You can have great educational content and still be able to get in front of your ideal audience. Maybe it's just the video itself and you're great at audio. That's great. Record the audio and have that plugged into the short form video that you're now posting on social media or part of your drip campaigns or something like that. So you don't have to be on video. I would push everyone to try just to start. And you don't have to have a lot of production in terms of technology. You don't have to have big box lights and a crew. We have a $1,200 device that is 4K. It's plenty to set that up and start recording.
Well, it's interesting you say that because our friend Dan Wilson's on, and we were talking about Dan before we went live about how much we love him. And I remember during the pandemic, when we first started Waking Up to Win, Dan did a show for us, and we were featuring different equipment, microphones, cameras, stands, all of that. And now it is the phone. In 5 years, we've evolved from let's go buy this to let's use what we have already invested in. So I think that's very important. Nikki shared, and I appreciate this comment so much. Video is especially hard for me, and I overthink it. And I think so many people do that. We record and we re-record. And you know what? I think people love imperfection.
I was just going to say that, Kathy.
Yes.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean,
Another word for that is authenticity.
totally. Because that's the way you connect with people. That's the way that people are going to get to know you and your quirkiness and your silliness and really kind of start to develop that connection in that relationship, right? I mean, it's good. It can't be so rehearsed that you're just kind of a mannequin of yourself.
Yeah, people want to, it's a human business, right, guys? I mean, it's relationship building and consumers want to see more of that day to day. So if you've got kids and you're waiting to pick them up at school or you're waiting to go into a listing presentation or an inspection or whatnot, man, just set your phone up on your dashboard or your steering wheel and start recording. And that's what people want to see. Or you're out walking, right? Not lots of edits or anything like that. We want to be able to see the day to day, and that's how we connect, right? That's what we're craving as we're scrolling. And quite frankly, we all are consuming video content at some level, right? Pick your poison. Is it TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever it may be, but at some level, we're all consuming it. And the algorithms are putting a huge emphasis on it still in terms of, getting it pushed out there and hopefully finding it in your ideal audience there. So be authentic with it. It doesn't have to be high production, anything like that. And what I'd encourage everyone to do, and hopefully at the end of this, have a little bit of motivation to do it, is just try, right? Just set your phone up and start recording. You don't need to send it to anybody or post it. Just record it and get through that first step, right? Because a lot of times we have the fear in our head of what are, people thinking about me or the way I look or sound. Trust me, when I started recording training videos and everything and I'd watch it back, there's so many edits and I just had to stop rewatching it, right? It does not need to be perfect. Does not need to be perfect, because if we try to strive for that, it'll never happen, right? We'll never post it there. So Kathy, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen if you're good with that.
Justin, while you're doing that, do you think that it's one of those things like where you can kind of internalize when you're going through social media or, kind of running through Instagram or Facebook or whatever it is, and what you like to see? And I think if you kind of think about that and how you connect with other people, that you're not as harshly judging as you feel like you may be harshly judged. And I think just getting past that part and knowing what you like to see and how you connect is a big part of that. I mean, would you agree?
100%. And I think that we see things in ourselves that nobody else sees, right?
Yeah.
We're our biggest critic. We look in the mirror and we're like, oh my gosh. And I'm the same. I do the same all the time too. Or, my voice is too high pitched or, whatever it may be. But they don't see those little things. They just see our presence and, if it's good value content, they're loving it, right? They're gonna fall in love with you. So, again, we are our biggest critics, and things that we see, the flaws that we see on ourselves, others do not. Others do not.
I have to celebrate our one primetime family, and I'm reading the vulnerability in these comments, and I'm loving it. Um, Melissa Sherlin has championed this. We did a challenge, and she's gotten really good at it. Dan Wilson said he's not sure what his mouth is doing, but
I love
it's
that.
doing something. Be genuine, be you, Judy. I love that. And I'm gonna do my worst. Charles Barkley is you ugly, you ugly. Go ahead. And, if you ugly on camera, you're gonna be ugly when they meet you. So go ahead and let that disclose that up front.
I love what Denise put in the chat, Kathy. She said, do a bunch of videos, maybe like 10 videos, and just don't post them. Just get used to doing
Boom.
them and feeling comfortable and a little bit better about it before you actually put it out there, if that's such a hurdle for you.
That's the first step. Just start recording.
Yeah.
Read it. Just keep it. And then over time, right, you just start to get a little bit more comfortable. It's like learning to drive the car or
Yeah.
any new piece of technology. At some point, it's just going to be a little bit more natural and you're going to stop caring,
Yeah.
right? Especially when you start seeing results. Because as we go through this first few slides, guys, I really want to share some stats and some updates on how critical it is for your business in terms of video in there. So, Kathy, you're going to be what you guys are both going to be watching the chat, right? So if we have questions, guys, feel free to throw in the chat. Like we talked about earlier, be very interactive. Any questions or anything like that, happy to help you with that. A little bit about me. I told you guys a little bit earlier there. BluPrintPro.com. You can always go there and take a look at there and all the different resources we have, but we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. So why is video content more important than ever now in 2025? Well, understand that 80% of all internet traffic is video, meaning consumption.
That's a big number.
Crazy. And that's from Cisco. Okay. So that's a real stat. 80%, meaning, it's YouTube content or TikTok or Instagram Reels or websites or wherever it may be, Google. 80% of all internet traffic globally is done through video. And even more alarming, it was like 92% is from the mobile device. Okay. So, and partly, with the short form video content, right, that more vertical format, that's a huge driving force behind that as well. And I think too, just the innovation and advancements in technology, and we've seen a huge uptick, obviously, since 2020, COVID pushed video hardcore for us. So, if you need some motivation or some core stats on to start leveraging video, whether you're in it or it's audio or, it's faceless, these are the stats, guys. This is where consumer attention is. I always want to look at where are consumers spending their time and focus, and it is video content. So very huge to be able to do that. The other big thing, this is huge. Consumers retain 95% of a message when delivered via video compared to only 10% via text.
Wow.
This is huge for your brand. Whether you're a franchise owner or an agent or a team or whoever, for consumers to be able to retain your message and your brand at 95% through a video is substantial. That's game changing for you. So, but again, it doesn't necessarily have to be you in the video. It could be faceless or it could be audio, right? They're listening in it. We all have our own skill sets and preferences. So if you're better talking, but you're going to get caught up on seeing yourself in the camera, just record audio on your phone and have a nice visual, in the background of the video. Or if you're a great writer, You know, you can put text in there and still leverage the algorithms with the video content. But 95, I mean, that's pretty substantial. That is pretty substantial and a huge gap, huge gap. So as we go through this, we're going to talk about a couple of areas where you can start leveraging video in your business today. And one of them is drip campaigns, right? If you want to take your standard traditional drip campaigns and modernize them, take what you would have written in there and turn it into a video, right? A quick 30-second video. Maybe it's a buyer drip campaign, seller, open house follow-up, or your sphere, or you know, even holiday, right? That graphic in there, just wish them a happy holiday or whatever it may be. But there's different ways that you can leverage that, again, to get your message across to consumers, your ideal audience, and for them to be able to retain your brand.
Justin, I was going to say too, I love the idea, and we talk about this in some of our programs, especially with the newer agents, but I love the idea too of doing a video for your bio and putting that on an added page on your OneSuite website. And instead of reading words, now they get you and your voice and your face, and there's more of a connection there. I think that could be so much more valuable to people, in addition to, like you said, the drip campaigns and all of that. But people want to get to know you. They need
Yes.
they need you. Yeah.
It's a human business for
Right.
sure. And the benefit for the agent side and perspective is that, you know, if you're doing internet leads or anything like that, as we know, it's hard to get them on the phone. It's hard to build that relationship digitally. So if we're leveraging video, they get to see your demeanor, they get to see how you speak and your personality, and be able to connect with you much quicker, as opposed to getting, you know, a standard drip campaign or any type of communication that is going to take a lot longer for them to, you know, build that trust. A lot of times a video can get you from A to B much quicker in that response. I've talked about this before. As you can see on the screen, 51% of home buyers go to YouTube as their #1 search platform. 51%.
Wow.
That's from NAR. Crazy. Huge numbers. So I took this screenshot here when I was searching YouTube and just did homes for selling and pick your market, right? Lots of content there. A lot of folks don't think that, you know, you would go to YouTube to search, but if they're relocating, they want to know what are the schools. It's just like you book a vacation or, you know, you're researching something. You're going to go there to try to find more information. YouTube and all of these different social media platforms are search engines. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, behind, of course, Google. Who owns YouTube? Google, right? So you definitely want to be leveraging that SEO power that's behind it. But again, I just wanted to share these stats because these are massive numbers to hopefully motivate you to start to at least the process, right, of trying to put video content out there. Because the agents that I work with on a daily basis are seeing massive results from their video marketing, including I have agents where all of their listing leads are coming from YouTube. And it's education, right? It's not just, you know, property tours. It's things you need to know before relocating to X market or the top schools in whatever market that you may be in. So how far is the airport, right? All those different things. What are the activities to do? How's the weather? You know, whatever it may be, but that's what folks want to go and learn more about and research before they actually start to, you know, continue that journey to relocate or purchase or sell their home.
You know, Justin, I'm so impressed with you, and I always have been. But more importantly, I want to say to everyone, I'm so impressed that you're willing to share, and I'm impressed that your stats are real, because y'all know I make stuff up all the time, but these are real numbers, folks. He's citing very specific resources that are very important to our industry. They're industry worthy. I want to read a couple of notes if I can.
Sure.
You know, people are saying, let's be vulnerable, let's get it out there. Sabag, who is our best friend with digital, says yes, video, Google juice, and increased exposure. So get it out there. The numbers are staggering. All of this is going to be available for you to watch again. Guess where? On YouTube. By the end of the week. Leah asked the question, do we need special equipment, lighting and or sound added to the iPhone, or should we write ourselves a script? Now, I'm going to answer that because I'm making it up, but I think your phone is adequate. And don't look for excuses. And I'm not, I don't want to say that, Leah, as that I'm picking on you, but I think just record it and see what it looks like. And I think you're going to be really surprised. Dan is saying make videos for buyers that you can repurpose and reuse for very specific areas of the real estate process. I love that. Here's what I want all of you to understand. You're the subject matter expert. You know so much more than you realize. And I think when you start talking, that is just going to surface and that is going to come out. So again, it's about authenticity. It's about doing everything. Melissa shares that she uses, and you may want to look at it, Leah. She uses AI to write that script. Never thought she would, but she's using it. Let's see. What is our YouTube channel? If you will go into YouTube and you will search realty1group.com, it will populate and you will find it. BombBomb. That's a tool that many people are using, and I think they'll give you the scripting and the prompter and everything. I struggle with the editing process. Do you want to speak to that?
I was just going to say that, Kathy, actually, and Justin, I'll let you answer that because you have definitely more, experience with that. But there's an editing on YouTube, and it's not super crazy hard. And so I think one of the things when someone asked earlier, equipment, they're thinking, oh my gosh, now I've got to learn how to edit, and I've got to have, subscribe to some platform now to edit my videos. And YouTube will do a lot of that for you, right, Justin?
Yeah, I mean, there's YouTube Studio, so you can edit, there's music, very similar to like if you're going to record on Instagram or TikTok. I mean, there's, it's not, Adobe Rush or a fancy platform like that. But here's the thing, guys, you don't need fancy platforms like that. Like Kathy said, your phone is more than sufficient. Or record on one of those platforms, whether it's YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, and save it to your phone, and you can do it that way. The goal is, longer form content, video content is still relevant. However, short form video content should be the priority because that's what is highly favored in all the different algorithms. And that's what consumers want. I think in the next slide, we're gonna talk about the consumer attention span. As you can imagine, it's quite low on there. So, shorter the better, or you're breaking it up in different pieces. So if we're talking about YouTube, do multiple shorts, but have it as a series, right? What's that buyer process look like? The seller process, step them through that. Relocating, things you need to know when relocating to whichever market it is. And now you have short clips that they can go through and consume. I love everyone's putting different tools in there. CapCut's huge. Big View is a great one for that teleprompter if you need something to just kind of help you stay aligned. But I mean, in terms of equipment like lighting and things like that, obviously, if you're in a dark room, open up a window or go outside, has great lighting, but you don't need fancy equipment. You don't, there's cheap microphones. I think someone put that in the chat on Amazon, that you can get and hold or, put on your clothing or something like that. But your phone, come on, guys, we spend a lot of money on these phones. They are more than sufficient for that. So like Kathy said, don't let the equipment part of the equation be the thing that's holding you back, right? Just start the process of recording for that. I want to mention, Savalik had talked about, Google and things like that. And I'm going to talk about some of the massive updates that came out recently with how Google is now highlighting social media content. So if you are posting on page 1 too, which is unheard of and amazing. So, if you search Phoenix real estate or San Diego real estate or Tennessee real estate, about midway down, you're going to see a section that now is listing social media content organically, not paid. It's not sponsored. And one of the things, and we'll talk more about it when we get there, but one of the things is it's based on recent posts. So in my research, when I was looking, it's everything within the last 4 weeks, everything in the last month. So very soon, very relevant. And it's content from accounts that range from very little followers to a lot of followers. So it's an even playing field. You just have to create the content, right? You just have to show up, post it, and let all of these algorithms help get it in front of your ideal audience for free. The cost is your time. Cost is your time. Okay, so all these different social media platforms, they're free to use, and their algorithms in 2025 are there to help get you in front of your ideal audience. So big stuff there. Let's see what we got. All right, understanding the algorithms, perfect timing. So all of these different platforms like Instagram, YouTube, Google, TikTok, Facebook, they prioritize video content, specifically short form video content, over the others. Carousels are still very much prioritized as well. But short form videos like Reels, TikToks, or YouTube Shorts are highly, highly favored on these platforms. So you definitely want to make sure that you're leveraging that. Also understand that social media platforms are search engines. When the algorithms came to the party, it changed everything. Folks are going to Instagram to find their next service business, to find their coffee shop, to find things to do. They are search engines. And I think that's why Google, to stay competitive, because of course we have AI coming into the playing field. And I am willing to bet that Google searches may go down in the next few years because me and many others are now just going to ChatGPT and asking questions, right? Because it can, form that information you're looking for much quicker and compile it in a way that's super consumable. So, but these social media platforms are search engines, which is why you want to leverage those keywords when you are posting video content, right? So it's less about hashtags, way less about hashtags, if any, on there, and more about that caption and those keywords and the messaging that's in those videos that you're posting. That's what the algorithms are scanning when people are doing searches to try to, of course, populate content for them that's relevant or geared towards what they're searching for. So I encourage you all, whether you're posting a static image or video, to worry less about hashtags and beef up that caption. Don't just do a couple of emojis and, 1 or 2 lines. I would do a paragraph. And there's tools out there like ChatGPT to help you with that. Can create it for you in seconds. Keywords are going to be critical, whether it's audio, you speaking the video or the content that you're actually putting in the caption. Those keywords, geographic location is huge on all of these platforms. So make sure that you're adding those keywords into that caption. But I always encourage agents not just to check a box, right? We know I have empathy for agents, which is another driving force behind my passion, because there's so much that we have to learn and do in terms of marketing and social media. And, you got your real estate license, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was going to have 15 different departments to run. But don't just check the box. Make sure that you're putting quality content out there. Review the content. Watch it. Is it something that is educational or valuable for the end consumer? Would you consume that piece of content? And the answer is no, then maybe you needed to shift the messaging that's you're putting in there. So don't just check the box and, again, 1 line, couple emojis just listed, expand on the story. All about storytelling. Nike does it best. They are #1 at this. They do not sell products. They sell stories. Watch a Nike commercial. They're not, of course, someone's running with shoes on, but they're not showcasing their latest product. They're showcasing challenges, how they overcame those challenges, victories, processes, things like that. And we can do that in our business as well, right? We deal with challenges on a daily basis. Maybe our buyer, over the last 2 years has gone through the journey of getting pre-qualified and working towards finally finding that dream home or being able to afford it, or you had a listing and there's a great story behind that, or your clients are now leaving you video testimonials. Expand on the story. People want to see that. Storytelling is huge for video marketing and for all businesses, because as consumers, we want more of that. That's the type of content that we're looking for. So again, I just want to reiterate that these algorithms are search engines. Okay, they're not just social media platforms, they are search engines. Here it is, 8 seconds. I'm not really surprised by it, probably because mine's 5 seconds. But, consumer attention and our attention spans as humans has just gone down. And that's, I think a lot to do with just how much we are dealing with on a daily basis and all that good stuff. But that's where that short form video content comes into play. And that's where you want to make sure that you can hook them in that first 3 seconds, which is this slide, right? So people are going to decide within the first 3 seconds if they're going to keep watching or engaging in that piece of content. So a lot of times if you're going to be in the video, maybe the first 3 seconds is a strong hook that's going to entice them or create curiosity. Things like, 5 things you need to know before moving, or 5 reasons not to move to Phoenix. They're like, well, why would you not want to move to Phoenix, right? You flip it and it's positive things, but it's that first 3 seconds that you want to make sure that you grab their attention. You stop the scroll so that they finish consuming that piece of content.
Can we pause there just a moment, because there was a great question up, and I think it was, can't remember if it was Judy or who it was that asked the question, what about captions? And I want to pause there because I think when we look at 3 seconds, because I'm the 3 second. If you don't hook me quick, I'm onto something else, especially reels and that kind of thing. Is that caption important because we're reading and we're going 5 things, 5 reasons, and you click on that? Or how important is the captions? The point she was making was she'll put captions on there because, and I think there is a statistic, how many people watch reels without the sound on.
Yes, absolutely. So I guess captions could be 2 different things. So when I was talking about captions earlier, I mean the section where you have written content. So you're going to create a post and you can have a description or a caption there. Now, captions in video, 100% you should have them on there, because the majority of folks do watch video content without the audio. So, they're at work or whatever it may be. They're just not in a situation where they can listen to the audio. So I would encourage, and a lot of the different platforms natively will automatically add those in there, like YouTube. But there's, CapCut, you can have captions, added in there and things like that. So I would definitely encourage captions in video content, especially shorts and reels and TikToks. Because again, that's something that consumers are very heavy in for that. So I definitely would. Good questions.
Just examples of keywords, and we've had some really good feedback. Catherine asked that, and it's pretty much location. Scott put in homes for sale in city, pool homes in that city, probably golf course communities. Do you have any other recommendations for the keywords? And my question is, does the keyword change? Does the algorithm change enough that you need to go in and maybe look at ChatGPT and say, what are the keywords, key searchable words for Raleigh, North Carolina? I don't know.
Absolutely, yeah. I would always encourage ChatGPT to find some, intel on what consumers are looking for in terms of those keywords. But the 3 top for me are going to be geographic location, always, always, always. The second one is, who do you help? Who is your audience? Right? And this goes in hand. I mean, I know we're focused on video today, but even your business descriptions and bios, guys, that written content still matters too. So who do you help? First-time home buyers, veterans, home sellers, because those keywords, when people are going to Google or any of these platforms and searching, you want those keywords to populate. So not just where are you at, that's number 1, what market do you serve or markets, right? If I'm in Phoenix, do I also serve Scottsdale, Gilbert, right? All those different areas. Who do you help? Veterans, first-time home buyers, 55 plus, whatever that may look like. And then product. What products do you specialize in? Condos, single-family homes, horse property, investments, land, homes on a golf course, homes with a pool. So all of those would be ideal to include in those captions or in the copy that you're adding in there. But the top three for sure, geographic location, who do you help, and what products do you sell? Because we sell homes, but we sell different types of homes, right? And people are searching for specific types of homes too, right? Even, like I said, gated communities, non-gated, things like that. So
Basement, if somebody wanted a basement, yeah.
yeah.
Couple of questions. Mary, I think I love you. She says, in bed at night with her hubby sleeping next to me. I always watch without video just to read the captions. I love that. Savag asked a question. When making a video for YouTube, would adding a transcript help with increasing visibility to the search engines and help with the algorithm?
Short answer is yes.
Okay. And should you write your script to make sure you include those keywords and that they're picked up on the YouTube video?
Always, always, always. Yep. The more keywords that you can highlight, the better. So if you're, going to ChatGPT or using a platform like Big View or something, and you're writing out your script, you definitely want to include those in the audio, because these platforms will understand the audio, they will understand the written text in these posts. Even if it's a static post, it's going to be able to read. If you go to ChatGPT and upload a social media post and say, what does this say? It will tell you what is in there. So they will read through all of those. In terms of the transcript, I mean, it's a little bit more, I'll say it's not a 101, it's a 202 class for those transcripts, especially if you're just getting started. It's not difficult, but it is definitely a great way to be able to, increase that keywords and work the algorithm. The other big thing, I love that he brought that up because it reminded me that file names. So something that we often overlook and don't take advantage of, but when you upload a piece of content, whether it's a static image, a video, PDF, whatever it is, all these platforms are reading the file name to try to understand more of what is in that piece of content. Not only that, but when you start posting or start optimizing that file name, and it's as simple as you're on your computer and you're going and just renaming it. And it could be Justin Taylor, Phoenix Real Estate, maybe your phone number, email, everything that you want to put in there. If you're uploading, videos or photos of your listings, you're optimizing that. Where's that listing located? Geographic location in that file name. When you start uploading those, especially to your Google business profile, you're going to start ranking in Google Images and even for the videos in there. So that's another easy, quick way when I work with agents on optimizing their online presence and their Google business profile is, hey, we're going to change these file names so that we can play heavier into the algorithm, and then Google and these different platforms will understand more of what is in that piece of content. And hopefully, again, going back to people going to YouTube to get more visuals of where they're relocating or whatever they're looking for. The same is for Google Images. They're gonna click on that and see more of the surrounding area. And if now you have your photos are populating there for your specific market you're in, they're clicking it and now it's going to your piece of content, right? So another easy, quick way to optimize any type of content you guys are posting online.
I would have never thought that that would be a thing. So instead of just like taking a screenshot or a picture of something and then just hitting it download where it's like image 347, you're actually wanting to like rename it into something relevant. That's a huge tip. That's pretty incredible.
And it's an easy, quick way to start ranking higher.
Totally.
Just playing into that. And again, I would do like for sure your name, geographic location, I would throw in there, maybe your phone number, right? So then you just start circulating on all these different platforms. So Easy, quick way to do it, especially guys on your Google business profile. If you guys are posting content there, I would do it. Absolutely.
Incredible.
We talked a little about being authentic. It's pays times 10. Just to be, act like you're talking to a friend in that video. That's why I say, man, if you're waiting for the kids or something, you're just gonna set that up on you know, a counter or something and just start talking like you're talking to a friend. Here's the other thing, and I know everyone's gonna start sweating when I say this, but I encourage everyone to go live, right? Just crickets. Everyone's like, oh gosh, yeah. Right, I get it. It's nerve-wracking, but you got to go into it with the mindset that, you're talking to a relative or a friend, or you're just having you're out at coffee, having a conversation. Hey guys, how's it going today? How's your week been? You don't even have to necessarily bring up real estate. They know you're in real estate. It's going to come up with that. But going live, especially on Instagram, is amazing because what happens is you get notified. All your followers get notified. Hey, so and so is getting live. So that's another thing. You don't want to do it too often, right? So you start maybe once a month, and then maybe it's twice a month from there. But it's a great way to stay in front of your audience, and again, just provide a little bit more authenticity and relationship building and being human, just being human. So huge, huge.
Justin, quick question. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Gary.
Couple questions in the chat that I think are really important to maybe touch on is when you're going live, which platform is there a preference over one over the other? And also, what's a good average length versus minimum and maximum length?
Always the great questions with time and length. In terms of platform, really, I encourage agents, which one resonates more with you? Which one do you prefer? Because they all essentially have similar features. When TikTok came into the field, Reels came out, right? YouTube Shorts came out because they had to compete with that. TikTok grew massively in a 9-month period that took a platform like Netflix 10 years to do. So it's huge there. And on TikTok, you have to have, I believe it's 1,000 followers still before you can go live on there. Me personally, I would do Instagram or YouTube.
Well, don't you think too, Justin, that it depends on where your people are, right? Like where you spend your most of your time and where are the people that you're connecting with and that are your friends with, where do they live? And who do you want to reach? What is your audience? It goes back to what is your audience?
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, which platform are you getting more traction on? Double
Exactly.
down on that, right? The other big thing that I always get is, well, how many platforms do I need to be on? The amount that you can manage. Because here's the thing, it's overwhelming. I get it. And to have to be on so many different platforms, start small, right? Start with Instagram or start with YouTube Shorts, but start small and then build from there. And over time, you can start adopting, once it's a well-oiled machine, you have a process down, then you can start, moving some stuff to other platforms. But to go back to the authenticity thing and which platform, which one do you like better? Which one's easier for you at this moment? And that's what you can leverage because there's millions and millions and millions of people on all the different platforms, and all their algorithms are trying to get your content in front of who's going to consume that, right? Your ideal audience. So you just want to, choose which one that you're going to be able to be consistent with. But for me, I would probably choose Instagram or YouTube Shorts. I would prioritize those for sure. YouTube is massive, right? I mean, they've got such a wide audience there. Instagram's in today's age is a little harder. There's a lot of supply on there. Not that there's not a lot of demand, because there is, but there's just a lot of supply. So, the other thing to not beat yourself up over is when you post a piece of content and you get 5 likes, 10 likes, and you're like, oh, this isn't working. But that's like being in a room of 10 people that you don't know, right? You get 10 likes that just consume that. And the other big piece of that is just because someone didn't like it doesn't mean that they didn't consume that piece of content. Doesn't mean that you're not building your brand awareness. Okay? Likes and comments and things like that, really likes are, and follower count is less favored in the sense that the biggest thing that these platforms are looking for is engagement. shares, saves, even comments, right? Engaging like that. And that's what's going to help push you out to the next level. It's kind of a tier setup. So you post your piece of content and you have this, pool of folks that it's going to go to. And depending on engagement and different factors, it gets some traction and stuff. They're going to open it up to another level. And now it's a little bigger pool of people. And that's how things start to go viral, right? So the goal is to have a lot more engagement, calls to action. A lot of you may have seen social content that says, drop the word leverage or blueprint or whatever it is in the comments, and I'll send you this free guide or whatever it is, or let me know your thoughts in the comments, right? That's all different types of engagement because they're trying to increase that engagement rate so then they can unlock that next tier on there. So you always want to encourage that engagement with it as well.
Justin, how do you feel about posting the same content across multiple platforms?
I'm a fan of it. I think you have to tweak certain things.
Yeah.
One thing I haven't mentioned yet is LinkedIn, and it is the most underutilized platform, especially for real estate agents. Massive, 23 years old, lots of SEO. You Google yourself, and you're typically in the top 3, if not at least the first page. Oftentimes, your LinkedIn profile shows before your website. Lots of power behind that. But in terms of, using the same content across different platforms, you just have to, maybe switch up the caption or maybe switch up the, audio in it, right? Every platform has their own licensing for certain audio, so you just have to be careful with that. But yeah, post it on all the different platforms. But again, whichever one you start to get traction on, double down. You just got to find which one's going to love you back, right? You're giving them love, you're putting content there, and when they start loving you back, that's when you need to double down on that particular platform. So again, I would post on as many as you can handle, even if it's the same content, but I would switch it up a little bit, especially messaging, right? I mentioned LinkedIn, and maybe your messaging is going to be more for referrals in those feeder markets, right? You're connecting with agents even in those other markets to increase your referrals there. So your messaging might get switched up a little bit. Oh, Kathy, you're muted.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can tell you now one thing that we're going to have you back because this is just way too interesting. Couple of things. You mentioned feeder markets. I would encourage everyone now, let's start thinking Summit. Let's get registered for Summit and let's start identifying what are those feeder markets and let's start targeting those for referrals to pay for your trip. One quick question. Do you have to ask people to like and subscribe to build an audience?
You can encourage the engagement because like subscribing obviously is going to help. The more traction that these platforms see that you're getting or engagement that people are having with your channel or profile, they want to emphasize that, right? They want to push that out further because they're understanding that people are liking your type of content. They want to see more of it, so they're going to help. So I would always, it's always that call to action, right? What is that going to be? Is it, make sure that you save this video or share this with somebody who's thinking about buying or selling, or let me know your thoughts in the comments. Anything like that, I would always encourage for sure.
Great.
Real quick, I know we're getting cut on time. I just want to make sure we get some of these other things here. So these are different ways that you can start leveraging video in your business today. Your listing presentation messaging, what I mean by that is using those stats that I shared. When I started referencing, 51% of home buyers choose YouTube as their #1 research platform. That's why we invest in video marketing for your listings. That's why it's critical. And sharing those, right? So sharing those different stats in that messaging is huge for consumers, especially sellers. Of course, listing videos, you have your walkthrough tour, all that kind of stuff. If you want to modernize your drip campaigns, convert those to video. We've mentioned BombBomb quite a bit, and that's one of the tools I'm going to mention at the end. It's easy to, insert those in emails and leverage those in your browser. Social media, of course, recruiting for the franchise owners or anyone looking to recruit. Again, people want to connect. Maybe that's how they're going to understand who you are as a broker, your personality. So switching up that method as well. Client testimonials, niche categories like VAs, luxury homes, first-time home buyers, teachers, first responders. Of course, if you're out previewing homes for your buyers, right? It's a great way to take some video. Educational content's huge. That's what I'm going to show you guys here in the next slide, is faceless videos. Be educational, right? That caption in there, that hook that you're going to put in there. Maybe you're going to partner with some local businesses. Maybe it doesn't just have to be you in the video, or maybe you're going to partner with your lender or title or a tax specialist or 1031 exchange or a local coffee shop or business. Because what's beautiful about that is if you're recording a video with a local business, who does a local business know? Lots of local people. Tag them. They're going to share it on their platforms. Now you're growing your reach and brand. Huge for that. Farming, of course. I know Darlene did her farming session, which was phenomenal. I rewatched that, and that's another way to leverage video, right? Keeping them informed. And you could do that by leveraging QR codes. Take something digital and put it in a physical form on your flyer. Hey, watch my latest video on, whatever it may be, the 5 things you need to know, right? So have those QR codes on there. Link it to a video that you recorded. Great for expireds. I had great success with that in terms of creating a quick video on what we do different, all that good stuff, and they scan it and they can watch it there. So lots of different ways you can start leveraging it today. Here's some short form video content, and guys, I'm going to share where you can go and get all of these templates here in a few minutes so that you can go and start doing it today. This is the quickest way I can get you to start leveraging video today. So the educational content is massive. It's unlimited in terms of content that you can do. So, example, 63% of sellers make at least one major repair before listing, but not all upgrades pay off. Here's where to spend and where to save in whatever market you're in. You're like, well, how can I figure out what that is? Well, you're going to go in and copy that text and then go into ChatGPT and paste it and say, write me a caption for this. And then bam, right? So you have that content. Now these are videos, so the video moves behind. It's just their images at the moment, but I'll show you guys where that is. But this is a type of faceless video content that you can do, and it's very powerful today. Consumers love it. Algorithms love it. You can even add in some of the trending music if you wanted to in there. But then in the caption, right, they can go in and read whatever you're writing about. I talked a little bit about the changes with Google's algorithm in promoting what people are saying. I took a screenshot here so you can see it. But Google now is pulling that social media content and posts directly into search results. Okay, so they're not paid, they're not sponsored, they're just pulling the latest, most relevant content that's being posted. A couple of things that I noticed. One, like I mentioned earlier, it's typically not older than 4 weeks. I did not see any piece of content older than a month. The other thing is that these show up when I type in a market name, real estate. So Phoenix real estate, Tennessee real estate, Miami real estate, wherever you are, right? Use that knowledge to then add in to your captions and keywords. Because if Google is prominently pulling the information based on those or that setup of the keywords, that's something that you definitely want to leverage. So it's pretty phenomenal that you don't have to pay to be on page 1 of Google and you can organically show up. Okay. And that goes the same for the faceless content that we talked about. Here's some quick tips if you want to take a photo of this, so you can reference this later. But again, some of the big tips, hook them in the first 3 seconds. You want to start with that strong question or bold statement. This is great for market updates and stats, especially things like, the NAR settlement that we had last year and all the different things, changes, all that good stuff. So those will stop the scroll quite quick. Use captions, on-screen text, right? So 85% of videos are watched without sound. Storytelling beats sales pitches. Don't be salesy. Tell the story. Be authentic. Faceless content works extremely well. have that strong call to action and video length sweet spot, 7 to 15 seconds. And I'm going to add something to that. I have agents that are, doing 3 to 5 second videos. Watch time is something that is played into the algorithms. So if someone's fully watching your entire video, that's brownie points for you, and it's going to help you go to the next level of that audience. So one of the tricks is, the shorter it is, if they're watching 5 seconds and the video is 5 seconds, it's 100% watch time. So not that you need to do that for all of them, but the video templates that I'm sharing with you guys are 5 seconds, because a big thing is trying to get them to stop, engage with it, and read the caption with the content that's in there. Here's some tools that I would encourage everyone to research, or if you want to learn more about them. BombBomb, of course, we talked quite a bit about. CapCut's awesome, especially if you want to do some of the trends, the memes that we see. You want to create some comical or fun content. CapCut's huge for that. 2 that you may have not have heard of. One is Opus Clip. Opus Clip is AI that will, you upload a long form piece of content, meaning 3 minutes or however long it is, and it will splice it up into 10 reels or short form videos. You can customize the branding, and then it will do it based on a virality number. So once you do that, it'll tell you like this one's 99% viral, just meaning that it has a lot of the boxes checked for that type of content in there. But in a matter of a minute, you have multiple pieces of short form content. So Opus Clip is a big one. And then another one, and maybe I can X out this and share this with you guys real quick, is Blonde Waterfall. This is pretty phenomenal. You can take your static listing photos and it will, through technology and AI, create this. It looks like an actual video.
That's cool.
The trees moving, the ceiling fans going. Pretty phenomenal. So, if you're looking for a better alternative to having drone work done, or, a video walkthrough tour or something, you can always come here. Pricing's not bad. It's like $99 for, the package to convert all those static images into an actual video. Customizations, branding, all that kind of stuff. So, very cool tool, newer on the market, but getting a lot of traction as we continue to innovate and evolve with AI technology. This is a big one for you to take a look at. The other one is Opus Clip that I mentioned. So you can come here, it's opus.pro. You can come and take a look at that. But you upload a long piece of content and it splits it up into these short form reels. So these are going to be great for you're recording a 3-minute buyer process video and you want to break it up, or seller, or whatever it may be. You can go and leverage that. And this is like $29 a month. It's pretty phenomenal.
Nice.
Wow.
And that's all I got. If there's any other questions before I show you guys where you can go and take advantage of our marketing kit that we have that includes all of those different short form videos.
Wow. I know there are lots of questions. I can't wait to see. Well, you guys are going to need to go to YouTube to watch this again and again and again. Robbie said that for us, that she's going to be doing that. Thank you so much, Justin. I'm kind of speechless, to tell you the truth. Please, guys, look at this. See where you can go and gain more wisdom.
Yes, so you can go to blueprintpro.com. There's no E in Blueprint. It's 2025. We're forward thinking. So blueprintpro.com. You can create your free account. Every month we upload a marketing kit for you guys to leverage. A beautiful marketing piece, newsletter type, social media post, carousels, Google business profile posts, blog post prompts, and those reels that we had talked about. So you can come here, create an account. It's free. You're just going to click that. If you already got one, you can just sign right in. Once you get logged in, you're going to see the main dashboard here. You're going to click Marketing Vault. There's a lot more in here, but I know we're short on time. So Marketing Vault. And then you'll see March, the latest one here, and then the previous months as well. But when you go into this, it's going to open up this player. Come on. There we go. On the left-hand side, you could choose where you want to go. So there's those short form video posts. You're just going to click on it. It's going to open up that Canva. These are all free Canva templates that you can go in and leverage. Click here. It's going to open it up into your Canva. And then you have 10 here that you can start leveraging. Again, if you wanted to change colors, add anything, swap out the videos, whatever you want to do there, you can absolutely go in. But my goal is to get you guys to take action ASAP, because that's how we move forward and try to, alleviate some of those pain points and just give you guys some ideas to be able to go and start leveraging video in your business. So I appreciate you, Kathy and Carrie, for
Wow.
having me on today, and everyone and all your different questions, and for me to be able to talk about something I love, video marketing.
Well, thank you. We are certainly going to have you back. Kelly says we need a 101 class. We absolutely do. But again, remember, you can watch this again and again. By Friday, Carrie, do you think, on YouTube?
Yeah.
So what a great thing. Tracy, you're right. We're going to rewatch it again and again. And Justin, we are so glad to have you as a partner. We're so glad to have you as a coach. Your passion leaps through the screen. And I mean, such a servant heart, and we are just so appreciative of that. Thank you so much, Carrie. Hey, thanks for being here. Guys, join us next session. We're going to be joined by Chris Allen. So, good stuff. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Everyone have a great week.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Justin.